Test yourself in the trials. Find the way through the darkness.
On May 22nd, 2015, Trials of Osiris was released to the masses with the DLC House of Wolves. This not only changed up the way that competitive Destiny was seen, but it also gave incentives for every single player to play it. So why did I even show you that trailer? To start, I think Gambit Prime is a mode that has the potential that Trials of Osiris captured. I thought Trials of Osiris, when it first came out, did everything right. You had one map, so players didn't have to adjust to different maps and complain that there was different maps in the loop. You had high stakes where players' light level mattered, and you had a meta that most players followed. Now, here's where Gambit Prime already has all of those things. Gambit Prime, you started out with one map at a time when this DLC first released. Gambit Prime, you have armor that gives you bonuses. This is the first time Destiny has ever really used armor and given us boosts to do things in activities better. Yes, there's been a few slight examples, but nothing that breaks down the numbers, like giving you +3, +4, +5, etc., etc. I think Gambit Prime is a mode that has all the potential to be a staple of Destiny, and Bungie is not shy with pushing this narrative. I mean, there's a whole DLC focused on Gambit Prime and on Gambit and the Drifter. So, 4 years since the release of Trials, I'm bringing this up because I believe that Season of the Drifter could have been what House of Wolves was. So why is it that Gambit Prime is missing its potential? Here is the main reasons that I will lay out. A, incentives for the players to keep on playing. You have a mode called Reckoning, and you have a mode called Gambit. You have a mode called Gambit Prime. Gambit Prime, you can get these brand new weapons that were introduced in Season of the Drifter, and Reckoning, you can also get them. It is more beneficial to play Reckoning because Reckoning is very much the same loop without having to worry about losing the game, without having to get frustrated, and all you have to do is press the super button with using your Nova Bomb, using your tether, using bubbles, wells, etc. All you need to do is left click and super button, and for console players, I guess hit 2 buttons and aim in, and yeah, you get where I'm going with that. But Reckoning has all of the things that Gambit Prime already offers in terms of rewards. Hell, you can even get gear from doing Reckoning. You don't even have to do Gambit Prime to get the Gambit Prime gear. But then what is the point of the Gambit Prime gear? Point B, Gambit Prime gear. The gear in Gambit Prime is cool. It looks really nice, and it serves a purpose. It boosts your play in Gambit Prime. So what is the purpose of it? Really just to pub stomp other players and not to really have any kind of cool endgame incentives. Hear me out. Gambit Prime gear looks amazing, has great boosts, but if there's no systems in place that reward you for having that gear other than beating teams worse and getting the same weapons that you can get in Reckoning and the same gear you can get in Reckoning, then what is the incentive there? My final point for what Gambit has in the potential is the maps. I honestly think that these maps are very creative. Yes, there's only two maps that Gambit Prime really is new with. You have the map on Mars, which is, to me, the best Gambit map that they have made. Very easy callouts, very simple layout, but also complex when you get to the details of it. And the other one on Titan has a very cool mechanic with the conveyor belt spinning around the whole map, letting you access each part of the map easier. So those are my points for why Gambit Prime has potential. Now, all it would have to do is implement a Trials of Osiris like system. Now you see why I brought Trials into this. Okay, so hear me out. What if the Drifter had a quest for you to do where you went into Gambit Prime and you did all the stuff, and then it unlocked Reckoning, etc., etc. But what if the Drifter also told you to go back to either Mercury or to go to his hub in the unknown space? What if the Drifter told you that, you went there, and you picked up something like the boons that were offered in Trials of Osiris? What if you had to win 8 or 9 matches in a row competitively against other players where you couldn't find other groups, and it would have to be a locked group matchmaking activity, just like Trials was? But what if you were given the rewards that Trials had? For example, in Trials of Osiris, when you got the 9 wins and you went to a secret cut off lighthouse area that no other players could get to, this was a feeling of satisfaction and a feeling of exclusiveness that only the pinnacle players could get the pinnacle gear, and it felt really good because it rewarded the end game activity type of players. But what if in Gambit Prime you could do the same thing? You went to the Drifter's ship or somewhere else, right? You went to all these different places, or you went to this social space that was cut off, you opened up a chest, and you were rewarded like you were in Trials. So Trials had something very cool, and this might have been an only year 1 thing. I don't fully remember, but I do remember this existing. In Trials in year 1, they offered adept weapons. Now, I'm not saying to bring back an Arc Solar or Void Burn on weapons. That is not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that there was an extra role associated with these weapons. You could have 2 perks, but on this final one, where you would open up the chest, you would get 3 perks. Now, to me, this does not seem broken. This does not seem broken. This seems like a good system that has the potential to bring a lot of player base into Gambit. This would encourage a lot more people to go hardcore into Gambit, and this, to me, would bring some life into the mode that right now does not have any player base. Most of the players are doing other activities rather than Gambit. To me, this would bring life, and this would be a great homage to the 4 years since Trials release. There's a reason why Trials was so loved. It wasn't just because of the mode being competitive and the shooting being competitive. No, it was because the end goal was so worth it and was so nice to have that you went through all of it, and you grew as a player. You made great connections with friends, and you met new people. It was something that I think we could all use again, and it's something that Gambit Prime can offer. It just needs a little help. That's all I have on this topic for now. If you have any comments, please put them in the comment section, or come tell me about it on Twitch. I stream on there a lot. Right now I'm doing about 3 to 5 days a week, and I'm trying to post more YouTube videos now that I'm done with school for the semester. I'd love to hear some feedback, and I'd love to hear maybe a Bungie dev get this kind of information, or somebody on some kind of social media get this information. This would be really, really cool to see what they think about this. But yeah, guys, that is all I have today. Thank you so much for watching, and I love you and your sexy butt. Bye-bye.